All right, welcome back to the Degree Podcast. I'm Brian Call. This is another episode of me going over gear that I use this year for the first time. That would include these Wildtech gators. A lot of this gear is in the Gritty Gear Up giveaway that I'm doing right now. If you head over to Peaks Equipment, you will see the giveaway details. It's going on for 4 weeks, just in time for the season. So if you need some gear and you're going to buy some gear anyway, check that giveaway out. Every dollar you spend over at Peaks Equipment is an entry to win when you use the code GRITTY. And it helps me keep doing what I love to do, and hopefully you guys enjoy and benefit from. These things, these ultralight packable Wildtech gators, they go right over your shoe, over your boot. I can't recommend them enough. You have to have them. If you hunt anywhere where you have to cross creeks, deal with any of that kind of stuff, these waders were absolutely, and I used them hardcore this year. I used them in Alaska. I used them in Western states, in the Rocky Mountains, multiple times, crossing creeks. This is my thing. They're so lightweight, you can't justify leaving them at home. They're too useful. They just do the job. I don't have to take my boots off to cross like a creek that's like 2 or 3 feet deep. I just don't have to. I can just throw these right over my boots, cross the creek, and then resume my hike. So there's been other companies who've made similar products, Wiggy waders, a few others. They just didn't quite stand the test of time. They came apart. I love the Chota hippie waders, but I have to take my boots off to get those on. And they got like a neoprene foot. You throw those on, similar to these. They don't go over your boot. And that takes time. You got a sweaty foot. I take it out of the boot, across the creek. I have to lace up, put the boot back on. It makes it such a pain in the butt. So to be able to take a wader like this and to be able to throw it over my my boot and attach it like so, and then to be able to just cross and start hiking in the water, get to the other side. And I have a ton of video. I'll throw that video up on this, so those of you that are watching can see it. But the waders were just great. Like, even there was a couple times where I'm just like, hey, I just want to stand in the water while I get water to drink, or I want to stand in the water because I'm going to hang this bear meat on this tree limb. And normally I'd have to lean to try not to get wet. I'm like, oh, I just have these waders. They became so much more, they had so much more utility than I recognized. Because they're so convenient to throw on and to go with. So the question is, could they handle what I was going to put them through? And on that, it's a mixed bag. My answer is you need them. So whatever drawback that they have, be aware of that drawback, but still buy them, because they're just too useful. One hike, I had to cross like 4 creeks in a matter of like 4 hours. It's a creek an hour. And in the past, I'd have to take my boots off, put on the Chota hippies, cross, and do that whole thing. And it just ate into the hiking time. With these, I could throw them on, cross, take them off, throw them right on my back, and just go. It was a breeze. And these are so much lighter than the Chota hippies. They're just a feather. So super happy with that. I found a couple of failure points that I've talked to the guys about, and they're working on it probably next year or down the road. There's a few design features I think that if they changed would make it much better. But the main one, and this was a problem across the board when we tested them, is when you put this thing on, there's this Velcro piece that goes around the boot like this to cinch down. And you really do need that. You know, you need that to keep this part of the double layered part that's going to hit the rocks between the boot and the ground. You don't want to be walking on the side of this material. And so you kind of need this elastic piece. Okay. But it's easy to rip off. And if you're trying to do it like standing up and you're trying to get that elastic piece off, it's a pain. It's also like, you know, you get stiff and you get tired from all that hiking and getting a pair of these on. And then you're like, okay, now I got to like pull this thing over, and you're doing this with it, and you're trying to like, and you're straining this right here, straining it. And if you're Tom Schneider, you just rip it out because you're clumsy. And when you rip it out, it tears the stitching, and it didn't really leak that much. Didn't make a difference. There wasn't enough water coming in, but there was a little bit. So I was more careful. I didn't have that problem, but it takes more time to get these things on. And this little elastic thing is, I think, a pain in the butt. Now, I think it's lightweight, and so it's helpful. But I was like, screw that. This isn't a solution to work. So what I got instead, and how I would recommend you utilize these waders, is like this. So this is what I ended up doing. I like to throw these things on. I'll fish this little tether through my belt buckle like this. Quick announcement. Peaks has a Dyneema shelter drop this Thursday, July 16th, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. You can get the Dyneema tarp. You can get the 1-person tent, the 4-person teepee, or the 6-person teepee. Use the code GRITTY and you'll save. This Thursday, July 16th, 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. If you're interested, get in quick because it'll be, when it's gone, it's gone. Buckle it back on. Okay, I have my wader on, but the bottom needs to be fitted right, and I don't want to use this. I don't want to strain to get it over. I don't want to do that. So I just grabbed a little gear aid strap. This isn't the one I used. I have one that's cut and fitted to the right length. And I just put that thing on like so. And it gave me a more secure fit anyway. And I got it to be the right size. Like I said, I cut this so it fit. And then boom, I just crossed like that. And this actually worked better than the elastic did. And then when I got to the other side, I just unbuckled it, took it off, unbuckled here, and pulled it out. And this thing just comes right off when I'm back in business. And there was no need to use this elastic. In fact, on mine, I'm cutting these off. Just going to cut them off for now. And like I said, I have to be aware of this strap because it's disconnected from this. Who cares? It's not a big deal. And I just take this strap and I can throw it in the stuff sack if I'm using that, or I just stuff it in this little mesh pocket in my pants. But this to me is like, I could throw those on. I could take this little buckle, boop, buckle it, cinch it, and I was across. Got to the other side, unbuckle, pull them off. No need to try to stretch that elastic over the bottom of the wader. That failure point where it might tear out, I wasn't dealing with that. So yeah, I'm cutting this off, the new pairs I have, and I'm going to use the right little cinch strap that is secondary. And then I just keep it together. And to me, though, like I said, I'm like super thrilled with these otherwise. I mean, that's really the main problem that I came across. And it's completely solvable. And I think that these guys, that these young men, these men that invented this and are working on the product, they're going to come through and make improvements. But for now, would I buy these the way they are? Hell yeah, I'd buy them. This is one of those products where I'm like, until I had them, I mean, I knew I needed something like this and would want something like this, but until I had them, I didn't realize how versatile and useful that they would be. And typically that's because waders just weigh too much to justify bringing them along. I mean, guys, it's a feather. So here you have like this ability to cross rivers without a weight penalty hardly at all. Like almost nothing. So ultralight packable waders by Wildtech. Overshoe wader, must have. Use the code GRITTY and you'll get a discount, and it helps me as well. I'd love to see these guys sell a crap ton of these. And I have faith that they're going to continue to keep improving it, but don't wait. Don't wait. Get them now. They're totally getting the job done. Get yourself a little buckle, like strap at REI or whatever, and protect that not using that elastic strap. You're golden. You're golden. So that's where I stand with that. Packable waders, Wildtech. Use the code GRITTY over there. Save some money. Help me out. Can't recommend it enough. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you on the next episode. Stay gritty.